afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, fans of Skytear. Welcome to round number 3 of the World Championships. I am your host, the Commander, reporting again for duty, joined to me by the man, the myth, the legend, Shane. Welcome.
Indeed, legendary for forgetting Boulevard's name. Thank you for being here. SRuman, and I'm happy to be casting another game of this very exciting Skytear World Championships.
In this round here, we are in round number 3. We are in the winner's bracket round, so we will be featuring King of Jokes, who is at the bottom of our screen, versus Clinton at the top of our screen. So we can see here that Shane is bringing... I'm sorry, not Shane. Shane is not bringing anything. Shane is in the booth with me. Shane is bringing his dulcet tones for our enjoyment. Jokes is bringing Tilakali, Nantaka, Vorhild, Kotlik, Freyhill, and Nelikon, whereas Clinton is bringing a mono red except Korjov. He just tinted everything red. He is bringing Satheru, Yami, Hogasai, Korjov, Kichi, and Akuti to the battlefield. Before the match started, we did see that Clinton won the coin flip and elected to go first, so we see that the draft has started. Clinton brings Yami onto the field, and King of Jokes immediately responds there with Tilakali and Kotlik. Clinton then bringing in third Hogasai and Korjov. Ooh, going quickly here. King of Jokes then bringing in Nantaka, so we are going to see some new heroes.
Yeah.
And
certainly seems like they have favorites and victory conditions in mind.
Yes.
It's not the dithering.
Yep, taking a look at our victory conditions here, we do have the right breach, destroy the enemy tower on your right lane, and there we go, left breach, destroy the enemy tower on your left lane, and the Skytear Master. So going to see if any tower explodes, then somebody loses the game.
Indeed, I had the pleasure of streaming Clinton's previous game.
Okay.
And one of the things we talked about at the end is if there was any decks or hero compositions he was afraid of. He said he wasn't worried about any decks or heroes. He was worried about victory conditions.
Okay.
And he talked specifically about this type of victory condition. At least he has Master here, but right, left, breach is, I think, difficult for his deck on Tulane.
Mm-hmm.
But the Dome is a scary place for his opponent. So I would imagine, my guess would be he'd go for Skytear Master.
Okay.
But that's just conjecture.
Mm-hmm. And then, so do you think then that Jokes, on the other hand, bringing in heroes like Tilakali and Nantaka, who are both very lane-oriented heroes, Jokes will likely go then for a breach play?
I would definitely think so. Yeah, either one. I mean, can pressure them both simultaneously, even I think in this matchup.
Yeah.
Given the lack of control cards for Clinton.
That is true. I need to go ahead and pull up Clinton's decks here, since we do have access to all of that lovely stuff. Okay. All right, looks like everything's good. We're just double checking here. As we mentioned, we are trying to bring as many games as possible. So we did do a kind of last second swap there to put a different featured game on the actual stream channel, and just double checking to make sure that there are not any technical difficulties behind swapping things at the last second. Yeah, we did an audible at quite literally the last second possible. Basically, pretty much, I was 30 seconds from being able to click, let's start the game, and then we're like, yeah, you know what, we're going to change things. As is the Skytear way, honestly. Build a plan and then abandon that plan at the last moment. All right, so we are getting into the game, though, as we do see the lead action here from Clinton after Hogasai has moved into the Dome. Possibly then a skirmish just to further reposition his Hogasai. An attack action, he can't attack anybody.
No, he can't. He can attack the darkness.
That's fair.
Oh, I think.
Swing and a miss. All right. So, looks like we are activating Tilakali first there for King of Jokes. Makes perfect sense. With Tilakali, yes. You want to get her out and get a pillar down so that she's able to protect one lane of minions. Also going for the attack action here. Okay, so no lead action from Jokes for this first round here with Tilakali.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, maybe he didn't have anything good in hand to bother leading with,
Could
or
be. That's fair.
yeah.
Let's see. Well, with King of Jokes here, his deck, he is bringing, let's see, some Amulet of Immovability. Interesting. Slide, Presence, and Sinkholes, Charm, Dream of Talent, Unburial Rites, Crawling Darkness. There's another card we don't see very often. Some Psychic Shields. Oh, no, not Psychic Shields. Stone Barricades, Sinkhole, Rampant Hatred, Nourish, Sacrifice, Chasm, and Sudden Distraction.
Indeed, yeah. I think let me do the average mana type thing here on this guy.
Stats and Stimulation is everybody's best friend for number crunching.
Yes, excellent feature.
All right. Meanwhile, then, we did see the end of the round there from Tilakali as she worshipped. We're going to see a time glitch play. All right, so Clinton is going to bring out the time glitch. And as we know, time glitch applies fast to the caster here. Yami and time glitch go together like peanut butter and jelly. You may also, of course, remove a condition from them as well. So Yami going to speed her way through one of the minions, burning them, and then Clinton will attack the other minion, removing that minion, giving him some advantage in lane number 1.
Indeed, yes. A very strong standard sort of Yami play. We had an Eckert versus Eckert in the first round, so we talked a lot about standard openings, and that's
that
fairly
must have
standard for Yami.
Mirrored.
Oh no, you missed it all. We had Eckert. We had a full Nupton, not quite mirror, but we had 2 Kenwys, 2 Eckerts.
Were you with Michael?
All around. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
He loved it.
I was with him in round 2, and he was describing the situation. I immediately tuned out as soon as he said 2 Kenwys.
Oh, so many move shenanigans and Whispers of Nupton. It was amazing.
I get sick just thinking about it.
But not this game. This game should be much more upfront and honest, right? No shenanigans.
Well, I don't know about that. There could be shenanigans, but it will at least be upfront and honest. I will agree with you on that.
Maybe the stabby kind of shenanigans.
Yes! I will honestly stick this knife into you. So also, just to give a brief preview of Clinton's deck as well. Clinton is bringing some Psychic Shields, Release the Spirits, Time Glitches as we saw, Impervious, some Shield Slam, Unstoppable, Barring the Way, Quick Shot, some Redirect, Presence, Dragon Punch, and Wind Blast. So definitely room for some violence from both of them, which makes me happy. Are you a fan more of control type games or?
I am. I will admit.
Okay.
As I've done in the past, certainly more of a fan of control type games, but no, certainly some good punchy punch.
Okay.
Can get the blood boiling for sure.
All right. Meanwhile, Freyhill going to move over into lane number 1, attack and lead. So going to defend against Yami's offensive maneuvering there. So if we assume that, the lead was from a deck, so we can't assume anything about that.
I saw that too. Lead from deck with 6 cards in hand. That's interesting. The average mana is 2 in his deck. So either he really values those cards in hand and wants the filtering, or, I mean, with an average mana of 2, you got a good chance, but you would think he'd have something in hand that's worth a 3. Maybe a bunch of ultimates he wants to keep. It's interesting.
Yeah, because that's what you mentioned. You know, if you don't have a 3 in hand, then maybe you don't go from the hand lead there because you don't want to try to chance a bluff and then have Clinton call you. Okay, well, meanwhile, Akuti is going to come out. So Akuti is going to move, worship, and then attack. So Akuti is going to interestingly force Tilakali to eat 2 potential damages here because all you have to do is have your worship token next to a minion. Oh, we're going for the pillar. Okay, so we're not actually going to deal with that. So unfortunately, does have to use the ultimate there on that flip. You don't like to see that, but what this does now allow is the Retribution ability from Akuti. You can flip on a minion adjacent to your worship illusion and destroy the minion. So gets rid of the pillar, gets rid of a minion as well.
Interesting. Yeah, I could see that. And I think the introduction of Unburial Rites has an influence in that play. Like, previously, you might have gone for the double hit on Takali, but now the pillars even has greater value, right?
Yes. As once round 2 shows up, and pillar's going right back to where it was. So definitely, I think to your point here, and as we mentioned, there are certainly Unburial Rites cards in the deck. So King of Jokes wants to start spamming those pillars so we can convert them into little minions, especially given that both left and right breach are on the table as VCs.
And not to mention Nantaka herself, I guess.
Yes, also yes, Nantaka, who is probably the best user of that card.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting to note, though, that there aren't any Strength of the Pact cards as well. Strength of the Pact, another good card that would make a very good advantage of Unburial Rights effects to turn pillars into minions.
Yeah, certainly the synergy is there.
Oh well, we didn't make the decks.
That's right.
They're the world champions, so I assume that they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Or the competitors, I should say. Obviously, there's only one of them that will be a champion. But I assume that they have an idea of what they're doing.
Now, do you think Kotlik and Nantaka ever get into like any real tiffs, some real smackdowns about one of them stealing each other's pillars or minions or vice versa?
So I think it is possible that Kotlik uses the Unburial Rights to gain his passive and then turns the minions into Nantaka to then later go. So Nantaka just has to throw down another pillar so that she has her ability activated. I think that would give you the best kind of like 2-for-1 sale, if you will.
So they found a way to work out the differences and work together. That's good to hear.
Indeed, particularly because they're on the same team. Cooperation is very important in Skytear. And in life in general, you know, Skytear has many parallels for life. Even when you are fighting over the same resources, sharing resources often leads to a better outcome than if you kind of hog them all for yourself. Also, the players are just going ahead and, you know, doing some thinking here. Obviously, each round is 90 minutes. This round's still very young in its time, just over 10 minutes at this point. We have 80 minutes before Daddy Ricardo shows up and brings out the belt, forcing people to accelerate the plays at levels that they probably don't want to. We actually got very close to that on the first stream game. I think we were about 3 minutes away from Ricardo doing whatever Ricardo has in mind. And a little part of me kind of wants to see what he has in mind to make the activations, as he says, go by in seconds.
See the egg timer, the little TTS egg timer clock come out. The sweat emotes. These first rounds, even though there are like set openings for heroes now, especially with these practice players, I mean, any incremental advantage that can gain here snowballs. So it's definitely worth giving some deep thought.
Yes, we actually saw on a previous round that Michael and I did in round number 2. On the Ashen Pass, it was the case where, because of how the heroes formed up in Dome 3, where the classic outsider was, Ian was able to spawn the Terror of the Endless Night in exactly 1 hex that made it such that the OG could not spawn at all. And so even though Turbo Color won the Dome, he didn't get any prize. I mean, he got a Tactician point, which I guess is something, but he did not get to spawn OG outsider, and that let Ian get a very favorable board state heading into round number 2.
-3 actions is pretty big.
Yeah. All right, looks like we're going to have some activation.
A little bit. Okay, that hex for sure.
Yes.
Korchoff.
Yeah,
So,
go ahead.
I was just wondering, this is, when we saw this in previous stream games too, and it's very interesting at these levels, where the first player is set into these positions where he's like, well, I may be overcommitting to the dome here, but I have to do it because my dome position can be undermined fairly easily by the second player.
Right.
Which gives the second player even more power. He can say, well, I've made you really overcommit to the dome now.
Yes.
And I'm going to go elsewhere.
Yes. So now Jokes is free to send Kotlik, perhaps, because at this point, Jokes is statistically unable to win the dome. He does not have any yellow heroes that he could... Well, I guess he can't use Time Warp anyways. Time Warp is a 2 mana, and he does not have the Flux. But he is unable to win the dome at this point. And so just send Kotlik perhaps into lane number 1, or dogpile into lane number 3, perhaps. You could move and skirmish, get next to Akuti, beat her up a little bit. She does not have... Oh, no, she does have 1 armor because of her illusion. But she does have only 16 hit points, so you could set up for potentially knocking her out with a nice Unburial Rights play, as you were discussing earlier.
Indeed. And I think it's to Clinton's disadvantage that there was... well, there's Skytear Master. Interesting. And so I guess Jokes has decided that he's not particularly worried or interested about that right now.
Yes.
It's probably good for him because I think Clinton's deck wants to beat you up. So spreading the heroes apart like this, I think either force Clinton 3 heroes over to do some killing, and that really makes a breach a rough situation.
Yes.
But anyway, there's things happening.
Yep. That's okay. You have a perfectly valid point. So we do see lane number 1 there does advance as we predicted in Jokes' favor there. Lane number 2 also will advance in Jokes' favor. Only 2 though, so the token is not exactly pressed against the tower. Obviously no tower damage round number 1, but Clinton does need to keep in mind the position here because the tokens for the lanes will resolve before the dome. So even though Skytear Master is now on the table for Clinton, if Jokes can break down a tower before round 3 dome 3 resolves, then he still wins the game. And token 2 is going to go all the way against the tower here.
Absolutely. Like this is a lot of pressure. I mean, it's difficult for green to pour into either for them to shift entirely over to one lane and really amp it up, but at the same time red has to keep at least one hero in a lane to try to lead and keep this set. So yeah, I think with no damage done, I don't know, it's looking difficult for Clinton at this point. He does have the Sky Master token, and we'll see what he does with the Outsider. But
so for positioning the Outsider, we know that the Outsider must spawn across the dome. So either 2 inside, 1 outside, or 2 outside, 1 inside. The Divine Conduit allows the target friendly hero to take a worship action. Shockwave does 0 damage plus flip piercing to a target and then pushes them 2. Might be useful to move one of the farther back heroes way out of range, so they have to burn both move and skirmish to influence a control zone.
Yep.
And then, of course, finally, Instill Energy, which lets you draw 1 power card. But we are going for aggression. So we are going to make an attack action. We are going after the pillar. Down with the pillars!
Giant Outsider, as big as a building, smushing a pillar.
Smash. Gone. Yeah, I mean, he's really terrified of the Umburial Rite spam, which, to be fair, is something to be afraid of. We're now hitting Takali. I assume probably a Shockwave play here. Push her further back. +1 on the flip. We'll see if this does damage to her. Yep. Okay, so it is the Shockwave, and there's the push. So Tilakali is only going to be able to influence the dome next turn. If she wants to contribute control zone. So interesting there. And then Clinton does have 5 cards, so I don't think we'll see him use the Divine Conduit ability. Might just have one of his heroes take a worship action. Potentially reposition the Akuti Illusion so that he doesn't need to re-worship for next round with it.
Be a good play. There's not... Let's see, the other heroes... I mean, nobody else really has a good worship action in range.
Yeah.
He could filter his deck, I guess. If he wants, but...
Yeah, because Hokusai can't target anybody, and Birdman, Korjoff, is out of range yet. So, I couldn't think of his name. I'm like, I'm looking at him. Okay, Birdman. We're just going to call him Birdman because that's what he is.
As the heroes go up, I suddenly, especially the ones that are not used super often. I mean, Korjoff is kind of in the middle, I'd say, of usage. But
I would say with that, yeah. He's been seeing a lot more play. At first, a lot of people didn't run him just because everybody else was so much more beefy, but... The blue squad has slowly started shifting a little bit here. So
I guess we do see a nice balancing factor of the game, as the incredible design they put into the game and everything, is that although there's a lot of pressure in the lanes, Green's heroes are, somewhat out of position, right? Yes. They all have to burn at least 1 action to influence the control points that they care about going forward.
Yes.
While Red is already influencing, they can use their actions for other things.
All right.
And the Flux is hanging out.
Active,
I know it's Clinton's deck. Yeah, Clinton's deck. Let's see, what has he got? That could be really scary. Dragon Punch.
Yeah.
Although might be even better.
Hatred,
though. 3.
Interesting. Normally you see Rampant Hatreds on Hokusai and go for the turn 2 play, but none of that here. All right, however...
And he has Wind Blast and Unstoppables to use next turn. Okay.
Yeah, we might see that. Okay, well, meanwhile, Akuti is going after those minions. So we do see the minions there deleted, 1 from the attack, 1 from the Retribution ability from the repositioned illusion token. So Clinton is at least going to stave off the right breach from King of Jokes. Now he's just got to worry about the left breach.
Yeah, Akui doing what she does very well.
Have you had a chance to play the solo adventures?
I have not.
Oh,
unfortunately.
Akuti does what she does so much more effectively in solo because she
really?
She kills your minions, then she moves the token. Then she moves the token again, and sometimes she'll spawn him. It's absurd how good her pushing power is in solo mode for the AI.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
Huh. Check that out. Yeah, definitely.
Solo mode. Check it out if you haven't. It's a great amount of fun. There's a channel. And I think that the information is open and available to the public now. And if it's not, I apologize for being a liar and teasing you with false information.
It's called hype. It's built hype. You're hype man.
It is. It is fair. I thank you. I appreciate you saving me.
And we have a lead from deck for
Kuti
to put even more lane pressure there.
Yep. So at this case, that's going to give 3+, so potentially 3 to 6 control pressure. Tilakali, oh no, she could make with a move and a skirmish. She could actually just get into range of the control token. So, Jokes will have to decide if he wants to burn both movement options. Although that would leave you next to Akuti, so you could do some light damage to her, potentially setting up for an Antaka assassination later.
Yeah, or I guess he could pivot into dome contention and focus on just one of the. I mean, he only needs one breach to win, right? And he has number 1 position. Although, yeah, and he has 2 heroes on that side. That's gonna be interesting which way he decides to take this after that sort of slowdown on his right breach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, and that's the other thing too, is if King can steal one Skytear Master token, that means that Clinton could win by that at a minimum at round 4. And so that, that gives King a lot more breathing room to kind of set up the table for either breach action.
Yeah, and he has the stronger leads from deck and from hand a bit. I think it's 0.3 or something like that, but still significant. Okay, we see some skirmish, chip damage. Ooh.
2 damage against Yami. My Kingdom card there. The ultimate from Kotlik, which would have been pretty effective round 3 for this. We forgot to move the Skytear token. We are in round number 2.
We see an attack on a minion. Kills him with a presence. Okay.
Dead minion. And perhaps a... Oh, nope, that's the 3rd action. That's right, because we also worshipped. All right, well, that brings up a fair amount of lane control there from Kotlik. I assume Freyhill will probably move up as well. Honestly, I think that King might just abandon the dome completely and just be like, all right, I have to beat you in 3 turns and just play the ticking time bomb.
Yeah. I mean, breaches certainly can happen very quickly. I mean, we're already going to be doing tower damage next turn, and Clinton may not have good lead options.
Yep, and we know, of course, Clinton is also no stranger to unmitigated aggression, as he as he said in his Skytear survey. When I asked, how would you describe your playstyle, unmitigated aggression was his answer.
Okay, so here we have some aggression coming up. I think Yami's attacking the hero as opposed to the minion.
That seems to be the plan.
That would count when you're looking at breach conditions and you're going after the heroes.
Yeah, I mean it's slightly counterintuitive, although I guess dead heroes can't lead.
Exactly.
Nor can they kill minions. Okay, so he was pinging the pillar. Okay,
he was pinging the pillar,
which happens to be below the hero. Yes.
Heroes dodges out of the way, but it was the pillar all along.
All right, so Yami is going to go ahead and move through the minions there. She will flip against the first one that she passed through. Dealing 1+ the flip. There we go. Very dead minion. So in this case, so Clinton actually doing a very good job here. So King of Jokes on the kind of time bomb. He needs to destroy a tower before the dome resolves on round 3 for Clinton to get Skytear Master. And Clinton's doing a very good job so far of saying, no, you need to come up with a new plan. Yeah,
you need to either contest me in the dome and get in range of my killers, or you're going to lose on Skytear Master. So it's kind of trying to bring it to his battlefield.
Yeah, absolutely. And where his main center heroes are positioned, like Korjov and Hokusai are positioned such that if Jokes sends one person into the dome, and Yami now going in there to further augment this, somebody's going to get blown up. Like, Freyhill,
Oh, absolutely.
she may have a little bit of armor, but Hokusai worships her. That armor's gone. Korjov does piercing damage. So, interesting to see if Jokes can win this before the Clinton time bomb just goes off here. All right, Freyhill's going forward, so this is
Although, I'm
Oh,
interested. Like Yami, when going into the dome,
yeah.
was that necessary right now?
I'm not sure it was wise because right now, if that minion gets killed, Jokes has a 5-0. Oh no, Kotlik didn't lead. So as long as Freyhill leads,
yeah,
this is a 5-0 here. This is
yes,
game over
exactly.
if Clinton doesn't stop this. Like, Clinton needs to send Hokusai and or Korjov. Oh, you know what I bet it was? Move Yami in there so he has someone in the dome. That way, then he can go and send Korjov and Hokusai into the lanes to do, like, leading and contesting.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
With
like,
a full AP set. I'll bet that's what the theory is.
Kind of a positioning of which hero's in the best place, yeah.
All right, Hokusai is going to activate, it looks like. So, Hokusai with the move action. Yep, there we go. And Hokusai is going to defend the lane like the stalwart animated armor that he is. Move action, perhaps attack a minion and then worship on somebody, or lead, I would assume. Probably lead is because you really want to bolster your control token value there.
Yeah, and make sure that you don't have to worry sweat this.
All right, dead minion. Final action lead. So interestingly enough, you talked about Clinton wanting to bring King of Jokes into his territory, but meanwhile, King of Jokes seems to be forcing Clinton to play the control game.
Absolutely, yeah. Which I think Clinton's able to do fairly well with Akuti, but I think it's more of a stall for him, right? He has to find his win condition.
Yep.
Because obviously neither breach is on the table for him.
No,
so it's gonna be very interesting how people get points to the dome and what they determine. Because Yami, I mean, if Korchov Korchov does have to leave, then Yami has no lead in the dome, right? So she's fairly easy to overcome. The outsider.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a neat one.
All right, so I assume that whatever Korjov does, he needs to end up in the dome and lead, because since Yami didn't lead, if Clinton leaves just Yami in the dome, then Tilakali just marches in, throws any lead down, and gets control of the dome. So whatever Korjov is going to do, I feel like it has to end with Korjov leading in the dome.
Agreed. I mean, Takali can get over to that left to that control marker 1, right, and put another control token. No, he's
headed. Yeah, she can just by 1. All right. So King of Jokes going to go ahead in and worship, summoning the pillar. Where the pillar going? We're doing like the 3-shell Monty right now. Is it over here? Going to the left, going to the right, in the dome? Nobody knows.
Okay, so really values that minion and then a lead. Okay.
Yes.
So definitely forcing Korchov's hand here.
Yes.
And that's a lead from deck. Okay, so we're unaware of what that is.
Yep.
Throw the slot machine on that.
Yep, and there are no chasms or anything here that could be used to pop a flux and then eject.
Not for Clinton for sure. He's mostly around the Wind Blast, the Unstoppable, and the Dragon Punches if he wants to influence things, but not a great field for Dragon Punches or Wind Blasts right now. So.
No, he's killed off all the pillars and the minions. So Dragon Punch, not really useful here. Huh. Will be interesting to see what he has, or what he is going to use the Skytear Flux for.
Yeah, they both sitting on a mid of cards and mana. A mid of mana, I suppose. Mid of mana. So definitely lots and lots of options being kept by both players with only one hero each. I guess there's some reactions that could be played and things, but... I mean, the burn potential of Clinton's deck
Yeah,
going
that's
into
true.
turn 3, it's very high. If he has a lot of cards in his hand, a lot of damage can come out of nowhere. Bows, though, on turn 3, there's lots of shenanigan cards been saying that can interrupt attacks and things like that.
Say
Yeah, we have
shenanigans one more time.
sinkholes.
I dare you. Say shenanigans one more time.
Oh, I love that many multi-syllabic word.
All right, meanwhile, we do see some action finally going on there. Takali going to drop down 2 as Kordjov skirmishes against her. Of course, Kordjov does do piercing damage. So, looks like Kordjov is just going to reposition himself a little bit, perhaps. And then going for the attack against Tilakali. All right, this is going to do 3 plus a flip. Again, piercing damage. So, only a +1, though. Brings her down to 9. And then I assume the final action has to be a lead from the deck. Or a lead from the hand, excuse me.
And
There it is.
hand,
Yep.
yeah.
Lead from the hand. Yeah, Kordjov must get that. Now, interestingly enough, though, Nantaka could march her way into the dome and tie up the dome.
Indeed, yeah.
That would stymie Clinton's Skytear Master because in lane number 1, Freyhill plus Kotlik will beat out Hokusai. With the lead, again, of course, assuming that both Freyhill and Hokusai led with 3, so there will be some chip damage on Clinton's tower, but more importantly, delays the Skytear Master for Clinton, while Jokes continues to try and set up the pillars.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me for sure.
All right, King of Jokes, as we see.
Because with this much pressure on the breaches, every turn, I think, is in favor of King of Jokes.
Yes, I would agree with that assessment as well. The longer that this game goes out, I think the easier it will be for Jokes to continue snowballing his lane advantages and then eventually just smash a tower. Because, again, it doesn't matter which tower goes. Yep, there we go. Nantaka's going into the dome, so it's going to be a 5-5 split. Oh, wait a minute. Takali led from the deck, so she might not actually have a 3.
That's possible, yeah.
Ooh, I just noticed that. I thought Takali led from the hand. So that possible. Okay. Oh no, Shane, the pillars are coming. The pillars are coming. The minions are coming. It's happening. Okay, there's a lead from the hand. So in that case, that's probably a 3. So in all likelihood, going to see the 5-5 split here.
That would be my guess because Hokusai. Oh, but Hokusai led from hand.
He did.
Kordjov led from hand. Okay. So yeah, I'm just thinking that Clinton's deck might be running out of 3 mana cards for leading from the hand.
True.
I think he's going to run out first.
5-4 in lane number 1, so Clinton takes 1 point of tower damage there. Jokes
and
will get
King
to draw
of Jokes
a card.
will continue to get card advantage on these draws because he's pinging the towers.
Yes. Each time you damage the towers, you do get 1 draw there. How did we do in lane number 2? So Akuti led with a 1. So
1.
that's going to be advantage for Clinton, though, because that gives him 4-1. So, important. Now, that brings that out of the range of damage for next turn.
Yeah, it'd be nice if he got the reverse pressure, but I'm sure he's happy with the middle, just slowing things down.
Yes.
I would almost say, given where number 1 is, that number 2 is basically out of play at this point.
I would agree with that assessment.
People worrying about it, yeah. Especially with Skytear Master also on the field.
Yep.
But that's where all the minions, that's where all the...
that's where the pillars are though, man!
Are. It's never out of play. Must be pillared. More pillars.
More pillars, more minions. Let's go. And also, of course, the minions one minion needs to reposition itself as it was out of line of sight after the control token left. And so, let's see. Kordjov leads with a 3. Nantaka also led with a 3. Yep, so as we expected, draw in the dome. No outsider action this time, no Skytear Master. So we're heading into lane number 3. King of Jokes with a small field advantage over here. Actually, I wouldn't say it's small. I'd say a decent field advantage over in lane number 1. Lane number 2, Clinton has the advantage, but as you mentioned, it's probably out of play. And not a whole lot of damage so far, although Takali is starting to get weak. She is down to single digits.
She'll start thinking about protecting those minions for sure.
Yeah.
But it's not Ashen Pass, right? So in this game, I don't think it's ending this turn. For
no,
sure.
I would agree
so
with you.
She'll be back, right?
Yeah. I wonder have we seen Feather Storms so far by chance? I don't think we have.
Let's take a look. I will peek in there for you.
Thank you.
See if we have.
Because if we haven't, Gorjov could bring Takali to 0 with
No
these.
Featherstorm yet.
Ooh, so
We have not
Clinton's got 6
seen.
cards.
Clinton has only lost Yami's ultimate.
Okay. Ooh, so Supernova is on the field, is what you're saying.
Yes, Supernova.
Oh,
Always.
baby.
And the other side, oh, they're Italian, so I'm going to make my best guesses based. We've got the only one that's gone is Kotlix from the King Jones.
All right, so we still have Glacial Rebirth, the Frenzy. I forget Nantakas. I think it's Call of the Queen.
Call of the Queen, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So we have plenty of possible ultimate action as we head into round number 3. Clinton still has that Flux, by the way.
Yes, so yeah.
So still looking for a good use for that.
I mean, he's got a ton of damage cards still in his deck, even with a Cootie being in it. So let's see. Do any of them really pile up? I mean, Impervious is with Shield Slams. I mean, you don't need that much mana for that. Oh, I guess stuff like, well, he doesn't need the Lifesteal. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be really ever using that. But that happens sometimes, just based on what you draw. The Skytear Flux just is never not that useful. Akuti is packing a lot of big cards, Wind Blasts and the Presences and the Dragon Punches, so she might make use of it, or cards from her deck. Okay. Oh, back to the action.
All right. Well, here we go. Skirmish attack. Oh, but there's the slide. So the card that I said we haven't seen a whole lot out to come out now to the play here. So slide, we'll go ahead and bring that up for us. The slide card is a reaction card. Move the target hero within 2 hexes, 1 hex. So very useful against melee heroes, as you can kick them out from their intended targets. And
oh boy, she has Shield Slam just to get in some killing of a minion before being slid away.
Yep. So the Shield Slam card. If I can find the Shield Slam, I can bring that up. There we go. Shield Slam, another reaction card, allows you to deal piercing damage equal to the caster's armor value. So as long as you're not using Shield Slam on a marksman or assassin class hero, then you're able to deal some damage to a minion. And there we go. So minion dead and then slid away.
We just saw Supernova be flipped. Why was that? Oh, no. Why was it flipped?
I think from the skirmish, wasn't it?
Skirmish. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Yep. So it was a big skirmish, but I'm sure he'd rather have that in hand, as usual with ultimates.
Yeah, especially given the state of the board, having a Supernova to blow up pillars and minions, certainly very useful. But, all right, so King of Jokes going to go ahead and activate here. We see the attack action. Oh, -1 with the Unburial Rites, but it doesn't really matter because when you attack a minion, you always kill it. I think someone sat and tried to figure out the way to not kill a minion, and someone says, well, if you use Miyuki, but then we're like, no, if you use Miyuki, then they don't flip, which means they can't flip a -1. So
yeah, they can't not, yeah.
I don't think there's any way that the attack action successfully resolves and you don't kill a minion. Okay, and a worship action for more pillars. All right, so I bet we're probably setting up for a rampage at this point. Or we might just be...
Or possibly Takali protecting it. I mean, with only one minion on each side, I guess his minions are pretty valuable over there on that side.
That is very true. So we'll see. Yeah, that's a question now. Do you use the Unburial Rites to convert those 3 pillars into minions and get additional lane pressure? Or do you keep the pillars there and have Takali... well, because the thing, too, is Takali's about to die if Clinton so desires. Like, Korjov is in perfect range. He can just go ahead, attack, pew, 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 dead to Takali. Well, maybe not entirely dead. She does have 9 HP. I think you do need to be shapeshifted for Featherstorm's damage to go off, if I recall correctly. So you would have to do that.
Check.
Let's see, Featherstorm.
Usually
yes.
they're
If Core Drop is
shapeshifted,
shapeshifted, deal 3 plus a flip. So if you worship, well, you would probably attack first, because once you worship, you become. Oh no, I guess you teleport with the card. So yeah, worship to convert yourself. Featherstorm Tilakali, teleport next to her, and then you can attack skirmish her, and she's guaranteed dead.
Yeah, since you do 4, 4 plus and 3 plus.
Yep, and then you get also 1 plus on the skirmish from Korjov's being shapeshifted as well. So yeah, Korjov shapeshifting just gives +1 to all of his damage, which is very nice. All right.
Putting a minion on the board.
I think this might be a miscount from last round.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Clinton only spawned 1 from last round.
We all missed it.
Yeah, I thought about it, and then you had another good point that we went off and discussed that, and I forgot to circle back around to that. But I think that's what happened there.
Okay, well, thankfully they caught it. We don't want to see any asterisks on any of these games. They're all been so well played.
By the way, how's your fantasy game going? Since we want to shamelessly plug the fantasy competition.
Oh, I don't have one.
Oh, you didn't enter it. Okay, fair enough.
And I regret it, for sure. But sorry, how's yours going?
I'm actually not doing too bad here. Let's see. Clinton is in first with 123 points. Victor in second with 97. Emergency 9 in third, tied with Paka in third with 95. Corrido is in fifth with 92. And then CM Trey is next with 90. And then I am tied with Timpan at 88. So not too bad. I'm in the top 10. Nice.
Nice, yeah.
Which gets me absolutely nothing. Meanwhile.
Is there a prize for that?
I think bragging rights and possibly a fancy tag.
Oh. Well, what else is there? What else? What else is better than that?
I mean,
an entire year of bragging's right until the next
It's true. Yeah, like everyone acknowledges you as the ability to correctly pick the most broken cards, players, and heroes. Seems good to me. All right, meanwhile, we did see Akuti activate there. So interestingly enough, Clinton is actually going for some more aggression in lane number 2 here, possibly now making it so that Jokes has to consider a breach of his own. With the worship attack and lead there, getting rid of 2 of Jokes' minions, and I'm sorry, 1 of the pillars and 1 of Jokes' minions, and then also making it so that there's a lot of lane pressure actually from the red squad in lane number 2 at this time.
Yeah, I guess if you can get a hero to commit over there, it's a pretty big win, I suppose, taking some of the pressure out of the dome and lane 1. So,
All right, so it looks like Jokes is realizing that if it goes to round number 4, Clinton pretty much can almost just abandon lane number 2, as the minion power would be substantial at that point. And so Joke says, you know what? I'm going to blow up your tower number 1 in the left lane before we get to that point. Also, we see presence.
Pretty big here.
Yes. So presence allows a +1 bonus to the hero, contributing for control value, and then you also get the bonus of predicting 2. And so Joke's really going to try and say to Clinton, hey, you need to send everybody over here or your tower explodes.
Absolutely. And if it's backed up by a lead from the deck, that pretty good chance being a 3, then that's a lot. That's a 7 versus Hokusai, whatever. Oh, that's not Hokusai. Oh, it is Hokusai.
You're right. You're correct.
And whatever from deck card he has, which could be, let's see. I don't think there's any zeros in this particular lineup.
Correct. I believe.
Oh, yes, there is. There is a Psychic Shield.
Yep. There is one. Yep. There is a Psychic Shield as a possibility there. And we know Clinton is kind of iconic for having been burned on 0 leads from the deck.
He's already gone through the deck. Wow, I forgot to check before it left.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of flips.
Let's take a look at this. This other side. It's getting low on King of Jokes' deck. Yeah, King of Jokes is only still through 1 ultimate, so he's 6 cards and 5 cards in hand, so there's ultimate sitting there, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. The question is, that's a good point. Yeah, he might be saving, like, for example, a Glacial Rebirth. No, Freyhill's already out of mana, so she wouldn't be able to use that.
Yeah.
Thousandth Ritual is still an option, though, from Tilakali, just to completely screw with the battle conditions. That's an option.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Yeah, and Call of the Queen wouldn't be a big deal right now.
Yeah, Call of the Queen. Yeah, there's not a whole lot going on right now. Hunting for power is not a thing, so it's not like you need to try and burn down the outsider. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, here's response. Yami's back out of the dome.
All
No,
right.
maybe not. Maybe she could be going deeper into the dome. We'll see. Go either way, I suppose.
Yep, she has the ability to worship, so of course Clinton does not need to identify the victim of the worship until after Jokes' priority has passed for any possible responses. So we'll see. Tlakali's going to say sinkhole time. So using a sinkhole, we can lock Yami into place, and she's not going anywhere.
Because her mark is a movement effect, or can she teleport out of it?
Well, so the teleport is a move. It is a place effect, but
Okay.
sinkhole requires it to end with
target.
an AoE.
Yeah.
So
okay, to with end. Okay.
yeah, so she has to end in the AoE. So unfortunately, she will not be able to teleport around because we saw the ping come down there on that hex. So I assume the sinkhole is going to go. There we go. We have a nice template, so I don't even need to assume.
Very helpful. Thank you to the players.
Yep. So we'll see what exactly.
Yeah, I was figuring he put him somewhere where she could move her out of the dome and actually not be able to target anyone.
No, why would you place it there? Now you can go after Tlakali.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the new rules, yeah. Oh, she's gonna go that way. Okay.
Okay. Well, there's the flip. So Tlakali is marked. Interesting. I guess the point of that was, prevent Yami from being able to go into lane number 1, which is fair.
Yes.
So
yeah.
ultimately,
it's all about lane number 1 now.
Yeah. So actually, not a bad idea. I withdraw my previous comments. All right, and we're going to go ahead and attack Tlakali as well. So that's going to bring her down to 6. And also, as an unrelated point, apparently Smiaz just was defeated by Pythoner up on the other 2 lane games.
The main stream. Okay, yeah. So the favorite's gonna have to do some fighting
down in the underworld.
Make his way up. Yeah. The double buy. See, you get all rested. You're kind of like get lackadaisical, maybe too big of a lunch.
But honestly, that is one of the things that people have discussed. Is having all those extra buys, like there's the fatigue factor from having to play so many games, but also like you're also warmed up and you're into it and you're focused from having played those games. So that is certainly a debate of the psychology of bracket forming. But nevertheless, congratulations, Pythoner and Smiaz. We will see what you do down in the Ashen Pass map. As Yami goes and finishes with a skirmish action to get as close to lane number 1 as the sinkhole would permit.
So yeah, I played a lot of Netrunner and other games over the years, and I just always try to play around it. I hated getting the buy. Obviously, it was an odd number of people, or even using the ones from the store championships. And then they developed this culture of attentional draws and other things, which was not great either. So there were regionals where there were 7 rounds long, and people would make the cut on 3 actually playing 3 rounds,
and then drawing the other ones.
Yeah, after the buy and the draws. Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't. It's good they don't have that here.
Yeah. All right, well, we do see Nantaka going in for oh, baby. We see a move. We see a skirmish. We see a worship. Okay, yeah, so that means we can't attack on this turn. Darn it!
No.
We came so close!
Delayed gratification.
So close, and yet still so far away. Although, he might just play on Burial Rites to turn those into minions, and then just blow up the tower. That might be what he's after.
And that might just be the end of it, because we have if he turns those into minions, and we have the 3 lead, that's 4, 5.
Well, don't forget,
8,
presence
9,
as
10.
well.
It's 10.
Presence as
well.
Yeah,
with the presence. I think it's 10 with the presence, if it's in Burial Rites.
Right.
That's
now,
crazy.
Of course, Korjov will get to activate, but so will Tlakali. And Tlakali can just march her way with a move in a skirmish, and find her way into the dome as well.
I mean, even currently with the
Or into the lane
if
one.
that doesn't happen, it's 3, 5, 8. And at most, you can get 2 heroes over there without some cards that I can't think of, and a lead. So that's it's not quite. No, it's 4. It would be. I don't see how Clinton gets out of this, actually, to tell you the truth at this point. Or maybe I'm miscounting because Korchov goes and leads. Oh, that would be a 5. So he could get 5 to 8 if he can leads with a 3, barring no other cards played. So he can just save himself.
All right. Well, Clinton's gonna say you can't move Tilakali into the lane if I kill her first.
He's dead.
So, no, that's
only missed by 1.
It's not too bad because now you can skirmish against her, and that does 5 damage. Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Korjov is piercing. Yes. There we go. Because Korjov can skirmish. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna go for the skirmish kill. We know Clinton doesn't believe in plus zeros.
He has a couple in this lineup, but
oh my god! Wait, what?
Right.
He
has Dragon Punch and Wind Blast, right?
Did his deck get hacked? That's unlike
him. No, it's a Cootie factor. You don't see her very often.
That's fair. That's fair. Blame a Cootie. You know, I just realized we're about 2 and I'd say maybe 3/4 of the way. I have not yet blamed Giacomo this entire tournament for something. I feel like I'm losing my touch.
I think he's just got you so harried with the streaming that you have no time to do such things.
That is fair.
Sinkhole.
Okay.
Second sinkhole of the round.
Oh no, this is gonna kick Hokusai out of the lane.
Yeah, I hear that's a good card, that sinkhole.
And no, this is it because
yes, he can't get there.
And the sinkhole is going to prevent Korjov from moving.
And he can't Featherstorm out of it, right?
No, well, he can Featherstorm as a reaction on King of Jokes' 4th hero.
Yes, he could.
He could do that. But nevertheless, Hokusai cannot get back into the lane. So this is extremely problematic.
Yes, indeed. Definitely is. With only 4 in your tower and nobody in that lane, that's pretty rough.
All right, so we are seeing Jokes position the sinkhole AoE. This is very important here. If Clinton has the Featherstorm, he could lead here with Korjov and then Featherstorm teleport over into lane number 1, possibly doing 4 lead value. But honestly, as you said, if the math checks out, 4 is not enough.
But placing it here, he's going to let Korchov out, right?
No, he's going to kick Hokusai over and then not move Korjov because I believe that the movement is a May.
Okay.
For Sinkhole, let me bring Sinkhole back up here. Yes,
you. But Korchov is skirmishing. Korchov is skirmishing, so he still gets to move, right?
Oh, you're right. He does actually, which means that that's a terrible placement because Korjov can then just go outside. Well, it's not terrible per se, but it's less than optimal.
But I think if you move Hokusai, Korchov can always get outside. So I don't know if there's a place for him to put it.
Right. Well, you could make it if you centered it on Oh no, because that's away from the target.
Yeah, I think it's too far.
Okay, no, you could do this. Okay, this makes sense. Yeah, because he targeted the hex that's on Hokusai, and so you place it next to it because you don't actually need to be able to see the target that you place it on, just the originally targeted hex. So placing it here, you can move Korjov over, but you are correct, though. Yeah, as the skirmish resolves, then Korjov can still slink his way outside.
Nope.
Oh, no, he can't. Not when you do that.
He saw what we didn't see.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Not if Yami parks herself right there.
That is a big sinkhole.
Okay, so...
and Neil before me's gone, so Yami can't get out that way.
Right.
Oh, no, it's not. It was flipped. So could be an option to get Yami out of there. Some wild things could happen.
Well,
maybe.
Here's the thing, though. Yami's Neil before me drags somebody to you. It doesn't teleport.
Oh, right.
So that's not going to help with getting Yami out of the deck.
You can do it on Korchov.
All right, so this is looking really bad for Clinton. So in this case, Tilakali is going to die, and King of Jokes probably not too upset about that, honestly. Because he's got all of Clinton's heroes right where he wants them.
2 more cards. 2 more cards for that Featherstorm.
Oh, that's true.
But he can't. And he gets to teleport, so it doesn't even matter if he does damage, right? So he could lead and Featherstorm.
That's what he
Not
needs
you.
to do. That's what he needs to do. He needs to lead and then wait for end of activation to go on the trigger and then or on the stack, and then use the Featherstorm to get out. Because as of right now, he's locked into the dome for his entire activation.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so we're just
I
going to
don't think
reposition.
he has any other movement stuff. Takali's dead, so Takali can't protect that minion. I wonder if where's Korchov? Could Korchov wind blast that minion?
Let's see. I think Wind Blast is a target.
Not in the right spot.
Yeah, you have to target.
Yeah.
You have to target.
Yeah, you have to target.
And Korchov being blocked in the dome cannot target.
Korchov is attacked already, so he can't Dragon Punch. He doesn't have the right mana anyway. Wouldn't see any barring the waves. That would have helped.
Oh, wait a minute. No, he doesn't need to wait to the end of activation. He could use Featherstorm to teleport into the one hex that is actually
the one open. Yeah.
So he doesn't actually need to wait to end of activation for Sinkhole to resolve. He does need to have Featherstorm though in order to do well. He'd need Featherstorm regardless of what we plan. So yeah. So
I'd want to do that anyway. Wait though, because I wouldn't want that third sinkhole to take me back in.
Well, the good news is that Jokes is out of mana, so there are no more sinkholes. Yeah, Freyhill and Kotlik each only have one. None of those shenanigans.
A lot of cards played. 7 cards to 2.
Yeah.
He's made his King Jokes has made his big turn here. A lot of cards. It's a good position for it, for sure.
Yes, definitely worth the card expenditures that he's undertaken.
We have Korchov with last action.
Yeah, and Clinton needs to think about this because
absolutely,
this is coming down to one misplay will end the game, pretty much for either player at this point.
And if he can save himself, though, this is the second Skytear Master.
Yes.
Although that tower will be, no matter what he does, that tower is going to end up real beaten up.
Yeah, and
this turn.
Clinton needs to do some tower repair here, which unfortunately, oh god, can you imagine if we have a power card that restores HP to the towers?
Oh my god.
Oh baby.
I can imagine. I'm thinking about it right now.
3 mana.
Angry about it right now.
building repair. Oh, okay. So
presents come down.
Interesting. So I bet he does have a Featherstorm. Oh no, because then now he can't Featherstorm.
He can't play it. Yeah.
So we're gonna presence in the dome. So what's the point of this? He's gonna lead. Is he? Does he have Time Warp? If he has Time Warp, he can pop the Flux and Time Warp his.
He has no Time Warps.
Okay, so what was the point of this? Okay, there it is. Game over via the left breach. So that's the end of the round. All the towers exploded.
Oh, he had the Featherstorm on the lead.
No! Oh, no!
So it was drawn in a way. But, we gotta go talk to these guys.
Yeah. Let's go. We have a few minutes. Let's go ahead and jump in and talk to the players.
He didn't lead. He didn't lead with a 0, but he just.
That's almost worse. That's the ultimate feels bad. All right, let's go ahead and go and jump into their table.
Okay.
Pillars. I didn't want it to get out
Yeah,
of control.
indeed.
Gentlemen, good game.
Hey. Wow.
It was my biggest fear.
Yeah.
All control conditions.
Yeah, indeed.
We did a lot of talking about that Featherstorm and how it could save you.
Yeah, I knew where it was. I knew.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, but at that point, even if you played Featherstorm here, I win because I have the presence.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I win by 4.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah, the double sinkhole was pretty.
Yeah. It was pretty tough. My plan since they were all control card games, and I was so lucky about that because I know Clinton is an aggressive player. I just leave the dome round 1 and push Tulane at once, and then just go all in on the one that he didn't push with Akuti. So
I think Dome was maybe my only way to win.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Yes. Yes, in this game, yes.
Yeah, that's why the tie on the first round was such a big deal. Such a
second round.
Yeah,
second round. Sorry, yeah. Second round,
for
right.
sure, 100%. I don't let until turn 3 the second point of Skytear Master. So turn 1, I push both lanes because I know that he wants the dome.
Mm-hmm.
So round 1, and then round 2, I just want to tie the dome. I didn't have a presence for the dome for win the second turn, but at that point I have the single in my hand, so I don't care about that. I just put 2 of my champions there, heroes there, and then play both single, and he cannot do anything.
Sinkhole fixes all problems. This is the lesson of the day.
Indeed. But Clinton was so unlucky about these victory conditions.
Yeah.
But he's lucky that he has to play Ashen Pass for the rest of the tournament.
Maybe.
Well, apparently,
I still can have situations that happen in that too. It's not over just because it's more of a killing dex, but
Yeah, indeed.
So,
and
okay.
I did the normal like having a flux over here that I never used.
We talked about that, but yeah, your deck can often, I think, just looking at, even though Kuti brings some big stuff, I mean, if you don't use it turn 1 or 2, you're probably not going to use it at all, right?
I did have a Dragon Punch and a Wind Blast in hand, but they just didn't seem value because there was only like 1 or 2 minions.
Right.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, and I was lucky that I didn't draw any Amburian Rights.
yeah.
So
Just to... go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so just so you guys know, King of Jokes, you'll be playing against Pythoner, who defeated Smiaz in the next round.
Nice.
Ooh. I have to revenge him then.
Yes.
But maybe I can. I have to play now, or I can go to have my dinner because here is 8:20, and then we play
Happy
later.
girlfriend, happy life.
You have to you have to work it out with them.
Yep.
I don't know about dinner, but you can play something.
Okay.
That is a question that
So
goes above my pay grade.
Yeah. So I will contact Riccardo. Since the last game is the last one for the day.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that is correct. Yes,
So-
we're going to do 4 rounds.
So if Pythoner is okay, we can chill and play later after dinner. So I will contact him then. Anyway, good luck, Clinton, for the rest.
Same to you, man. Congrats on the win.
I don't know if I pick you for the fantasy or not, because
I
but
did.
anyway, you were one of my good fantasy players because I know you can play very well. Okay, thank you. Bye, guys.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you very
Good
much,
luck.
everyone. On behalf of Shane, Clinton, and King of Jokes, thank you very much for joining us. And please continue watching the other videos for additional Skytear content. Have a good afternoon.
Bye.
Bye.